Hey there, Guardians. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today we're going to be talking about the menus and interface. Now, if you haven't seen, I made a bunch of smaller and shorter videos, and all of the menus and interfaces are in these videos, but I figured I'm going to consolidate them all and put them all in one big video like this. So I'm going to go through everything here. This may be a little lengthy. I'll try to keep it super simple, super short as much as I can, and let's get started. So first screen is right here. So this is your main orbit screen. So this is kind of your starting screen, right? You're flying around in orbit, you don't know where to go. Now you'll see this thing at the top. This is just your character emblem, right? So the actual design of this, that's called the emblem, which you can customize. You can choose different emblems. A lot of these have different challenges related to them. Some of them have different trackers, like PvP trackers or raid trackers. I'm currently using the one from completing Salvation's Edge, but pretty cool for customizing things, and this is a good way to know who's completed what on your friends list. Now, you'll have the director here. Now, the director is the main method of interacting with all the menus and interface in the game, right? Don't worry about Journey. I'll talk about that in a second, but let's start with director. So whenever you want to do anything in Destiny 2, you need to open the director. And then you'll get the menu on the top here. And this is from the director, all the options you have. So we're going to go left to right. And again, I have all these broken down in their own individual videos, but we're just going to do it all big in one video if that helps other people. So first you have the store. So this is the Eververse store. So everything in here gets updated every Tuesday. Well, Tuesday, if you're living where I am, Central Time, it's around noon Central. And a lot of the things in here are purchased for silver. Now, silver is, you see I don't have any right now. Silver is the currency that you can purchase with real money. So that's one big thing to know right off the bat is a lot of the items, cosmetics, you have emotes in here, you have different ships, different ghost shells, different weapon ornaments for exotic weapons. A lot of these are purchased with silver, and you do need to buy that using real money. So keep that in mind. Now, also in the store, you have another currency called Bright Dust. Now, Bright Dust has a more limited selection of things you can buy from the store, but Bright Dust is entirely available to earn in-game. So that's the benefit of Bright Dust, right? Additionally, you have in the store tab here, I'll go over these in a sec, but you have your Bright Dust tab. And again, this gets updated every Tuesday. And yeah, you can buy all of these with your in-game Bright Dust currency. So currently we have a Truth Ornament, it's exotic rocket launcher. Got some armor in here, got a couple emotes, a ship, vehicle. Buy some consumables, some shaders. And then going down the list here, so the featured is just featured stuff. So this is stuff they usually recently added items, stuff that they want you to get, right? So they have like this D&D set they're advertising for this season. And then you have your seasonal. So this is stuff that's available for the current season. And then usually after the current season, all this stuff gets put into the archive. So archive is pretty much everything that wasn't soft locked behind like a specific event or like an exclusive item. There should be pretty much like everything in here that is available that wasn't locked by like one of those exclusive or time gated events. Recommended, this is just 10 items that they recommend to you. I'm not sure how they get the metrics for this. If this is like stuff that you use often, like for example, I've never used Wormhusk Crown, which is an exotic hunter helmet, but it's still recommended to you for the ornament. So it's a little short thing for recommended. Talked about the Bright Dust store and then expansions. So any expansions you don't own, or if you do own them, they'll also show up here. And then obviously they have checkmarked and owned if you have them, right? So this is a good way to organize from the game itself, like which DLCs that you have, because I know it can get pretty confusing. So yeah, we talked about silver, Bright Dust, and then obviously you can buy silver right here, which brings up the Steam screen. So moving along, so Season Pass. So the Season Pass, they might change this going forward because seasons have been replaced by what's called episodes. So anytime you see episodes now, just know that is just the current season, right? So that is a current period of time where they have seasonal content that you have for like a few months, and then you go to something different, right? So obviously this is a live service game, so they want you to keep coming back to the seasons/episodes. They're interchangeable, so don't get thrown off by that. The big difference here with the episodes are they're broken into acts. So right now we are in Act 2 of Episode 1. So I know that can get kind of confusing. And then Act 3 is locked. It releases the time of this recording in 34 days. And then normally the season pass, or now the episode pass, goes up to 100. But as you can see, it goes past 100 now, and that's just Act 2. So each act is adding 100 ranks of this pass. Few things to note here. So you do have to pay for the season pass. But if you don't pay, you still can unlock stuff, but you unlock stuff on the top row. So keep that in mind. Top row is free, but as you can see, as you keep leveling up, right? Like if you're gonna play, you get fewer and fewer rewards. If you're first starting out, I wouldn't recommend purchasing the season pass. I would like play an act, like play it out into completion. So say if you're starting now, I would play Act 1 and 2, and then see if you're vibing with the game. And then like when Act 3 comes out, or when the next episode or whatever comes out, that's when I would be like, okay, did I like what I enjoy? Did I enjoy what I played? Do I want to then purchase the season pass? I would kind of go about it like that. You can ignore this button. Highly recommend never purchasing season rank. It costs silver, which again is real life currency, and it's just not worth it in my opinion. Yeah, I won't go through all the rewards in here, but a lot of these are standard. So you'll get engrams, which are just weapons or armor from the current episode. Get some weapons in here from the current episode. Upgrade modules, which are used to upgrade weapons up to light level, which I'll talk about in a minute. Glimmer, which is your currency for like in-game stuff. You get a lot of stuff in here. You'll get some XP boosts. So all the XP boosts, they kind of go down here. This lower right section, you can completely ignore, which I talked about in my season pass video, but these are all passive unlocks. So you don't ever need to pay attention to these. Don't get overwhelmed or intimidated by any of this. All this stuff is passive unlocks. You don't need to do anything. This is all unlocked from the pass, and it basically just makes better XP, for example. So like this gives you more XP. I collect these. I don't need to activate it. I don't need to deactivate it. It's always on. Or like this one. Again, it even tells you like what rank. So like I get a glimmer bonus unlocked at rank 105 when I get there, right? And then this one, some masterwork bonus. Other bonuses here, right? So I'll talk about this. So seasonal challenges. So these are really good to get experience. These kind of replaced the old system in Destiny 2. This used to be a game that was really focused on like bounties, right? Like going to every vendor, picking up all the bounties. They kind of did away with that, and it's probably for the best because I think this is just a better system. So basically how this works is every week they drop new seasonal challenges, and they could be anything from completing the weekly mission, like in the episode. It could be something from the main expansion. So like Recover Lost Ghosts is from the Pale Heart, which is from the Final Shape DLC. Same thing with here. Some of these are like PvP challenges, like this one, like defeat Guardians with void damage at the Crucible. So they vary with what they do. And then the way you can determine like how much XP they give, because all these give XP, right? And then if they have a bright dust symbol, it gives bright dust as well, which is nice. You can get a lot of bright dust from these as well. But the little plus symbol under Challenger XP, that determines how much experience you get. So if I do this one, right? So this gives me 1 plus symbol, so that's decent XP. But if I do this one, it's probably going to be harder. And this gives me 3 pluses. So this gives me a lot of experience. So if you're looking to level up, seasonal challenges are the way to go. And then this just tells you like what the season pass like entails. You get some weapons. You can do the activities. Oh, I guess I should address that. So if you don't have the season pass, I'm pretty sure the way they're doing it now is the season pass / episode pass. You can do the current one. You just can't do the later one. So if you join now, you should be able to play the baseline episode on this act only. There's that screen again. But like you wouldn't be able to play Act 3. I'm pretty sure that's how it's done. Again, I know this is like really confusing. There's also a thing where like you get access to the current season if you buy the Final Shape DLC, which I know 100% is a thing. So maybe that's what I'm talking about then. So yeah, if you buy the final shape, I'm looking it up now, you get access to the current act. So if you buy the final shape now, you'll get Act 2. And also should get Act 1 as well, but you won't get Act 3 unless you get the pass. But yeah, they make this super convoluted for no reason. If you have any questions or comments, or you're still confused, just let me know. We can figure it out together. Moving on to quests. So you still have bounties in this game. So they're just limited compared to how they used to be. So you have a few vendors at certain locations I'll tell you about in a second. But yeah, you still collect bounties. You still complete them. They're just not like the main like do or die way to get experience, right? So the first tab you have over here, these are just featured. This also gives you a link to seasonal challenges, which is what we already saw. This is just a second way to get to it. And the featured is typically like your big quests, like whatever you're doing currently. So this is like the act. So this is from the episode. This is like an exotic quest I'm doing, stuff like that. This is the next tab is just all of your quests. And I'm pretty sure this sorts it by when you picked up the quest / when you last completed like progress in that quest. So like I probably haven't done this one for a while. This should be how it's sorted. Yeah, you have different types of quests in Destiny 2. So you have, this is like an exotic quest. These are usually more difficult, but offer better rewards. You have like all of these are from the specimen quests. These are all from the act. So Act 2 / Act 1 from the current episode. So this is just seasonal quest. And this is the big seasonal quest. Yeah, looking at these, like I can definitely tell how these can get confusing, but just know all your quests go in here, honestly. Don't worry about like what goes where, because you are able to track quests. So if I hover over this and mouse click, which on controller should just be A, the game does a decent job of telling you where to go when you're tracking a quest. So keep that in mind. It should tell you where to go. Like for example, I'm tracking this one right now, and there's like a little green symbol on here. And then you have, so this just breaks it down more. So these are your final shape. So this is the latest expansion. Then you have your episodes. So this is your seasonal content, playlist quests. So this is where if I had any quests for like Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit, you go here, exotic quests, and then the past. This is from like previous expansions. So if I had a quest here from like the Shadowkeep expansion, it would show up here. So map, I'll show you guys in a second. You have to be on a planet for the map to show up. So destination. So this is how you get around. So on first glance, this is like what's going on here, right? There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of planets. But I want to break this down. And again, I have a destination video if you want to refer back to that. So at the top, these first 4. So these are your main playlists. So your Vanguard playlist, your Gambit playlist, and your Crucible playlist. So Vanguard are your strikes. So strikes are just short little simple story-based missions. They are a playlist. They have a bunch of them in there, and they have matchmaking. So if you just want to like go in there and like shoot bad guys, like strikes are a good way to just get in there. Like these are not necessarily challenging. You would want to click Vanguard Ops right here. It's not really that challenging. Also Onslaught, which is a mode they the mode they announced and released prior to the final shape coming out. So it was a kind of a free content update called Into the Light. And this is basically like a horde mode. So this is a lot of fun. There's some good weapons in here. Same thing, difficulty, easy to get into. So you can click on any of these. Nightfalls. So you see Nightfall playlist here, and then you also see Grandmaster Nightfall. So Nightfalls take the strikes and they make them super, super hard. There's a difficulty scale around these. So Advanced, Expert, Master. And then Grandmaster is even above that. So these just take strikes and put a bunch of modifiers on them. They make the enemies super tanky, and they add a lot of champions and modifiers that make everything really hard. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a challenge. The Nightfalls are the way to go. The Grandmaster Nightfalls are something that I like doing. I do these every season. They rotate, and then you can get a cool little title out of them. But yeah, so each playlist has a rank. So just by doing the playlist, you get more experience towards rank. So there's a lot of words here, but just know the more Vanguard stuff I do, the more this levels up. And there's a vendor tied to that named Zavala, and he's on the tower, which I'll show you guys in a second. So Gambit is the next playlist. So this is PvPvE. So you're fighting like computer combatants, but at the same time, there's an invasion component where you fight players as well. So this is fun, and same sort of experience rank thing here. Crucible is your main PvP playlist. So these rotate occasionally. Like I know on weekends they have like super sweaty PvP called Trials of Osiris. Occasionally, certain weeks they'll have a playlist called Iron Banner, which is a lot of fun. And there's like different weapons tied in with that. But yeah, if you're into PvP, check these out. I am not a PvP player by any means, but I do hop into Iron Banner usually when it comes out for just some fun. I don't take it too serious. And then the Legends tab. So this is like previous content. So like, for example, these 3 big ones, these are Destiny 1 reprised raids that were added in Destiny 2. They were like remastered and added. You have some exotic missions down here. 0 Hour and the Whisper were closer to the launch of Destiny 2, so closer to like 2017, 2018. And then they got deleted from the game when everything got sunset right before Beyond Light came out in 2020, and then they added them back recently. This is another exotic mission. I don't like this one. This one's hard. You got some dungeons in here. I don't know why these are in the Legacy tab, or excuse me, the Legends tab. But just know you have dungeons here. So Prophecy, good beginner dungeon. Goes to the deep. Do not recommend. Not beginner friendly. This is a tough one. And then, so going down the list, so you just have all your planets here. So we'll start here. Let's start at the Pale Heart. So this is the main destination for the Final Shape expansion. So there's a bunch of stuff here, right? Which it looks overwhelming, probably because it is, but like the more you play, the more you get familiar with like what is actually going on, right? So like this is like a match made thing you have here. This is like an exotic mission that I unlocked. Here's like a current quest that's telling me to go. I can put a waypoint here. These little cross things are Pathfinder things, which Pathfinder was like a new experience thing they added with the Final Shape. It's basically you just forge your own path on whatever goal it tells you to do, and then you get XP. And then if you get to the end, you get an exotic sword or some, which is kind of cool. This kind of replaced a lot of the emphasis on bounties, the Pathfinder system, which I think it works pretty well. Some people don't like it because it forces you to do stuff that you might not want to do, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal, honestly. But yeah, let's fly down here real quick. I'll try to keep this video under 30 minutes. That's the goal. So while we're flying down, so you can see my map is now updated. So anytime you go to a destination, map becomes obviously the map of which you went to. So that's kind of the only reason I wanted to fly down here. Yeah, you see some vendor stuff here. There's a vendor here. There's a vendor here, and it's highlighted, which means I need to talk to him. So like if I go to him, he should give me something. Yeah, there you go. So he gave me something. Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. But this is an example of the new vendor. So vendors used to be a lot different, and they used to all give you bounties, but pretty much all the vendors in the game right now have been reworked to follow the same structure. So if you understand it once, you'll understand it for everyone, but this is generally how vendors go. So they have a structure for rewards, which, so you see like requires rank 4, rank 7, so I already got these. So the next one I need is rank 13, because it doesn't have a check mark, right? And then once you get to the end of the rank reward, you can reset it by holding, and you'll get this little golf ball, which is cool, which I'll talk about in further videos, like the inventory stuff. And then you just start over. It has different stuff. And the way you get, like it should explain it. Yeah, so it explains it right here. So like ghost rank, right? So this is the Final Shape vendor. This is like the main one. And it says, complete Pathfinder objectives, overthrow lost sectors, insists, and open chests and Pale Heart. Increase your ghost reputation and rewards. So a lot of this stuff you'll know, and you'll get familiarized with like what these actually mean while you're going through the Pale Heart. So just by playing it more. So like overthrow was one of the things listed. So like I've done overthrow a bunch of times, and I know that's a thing I could do if I want to upgrade my rank here. Or like open chests, like there's a million chests in the Pale Heart. So stuff like that, you just kind of get, you slowly but surely you get familiarized with the concepts here. And then each vendor should have their own weapon set and armor set. All right, let's go back to orbit. All right, so the next thing we're gonna talk about, let's finish up destination. So I'm just gonna give a real quick explanation of what each planet is for. So Neptune is for the Lightfall expansion. So this is all Lightfall. Paleheart, obviously we talked about this for Final Shape. Europa is all the Deepstone Crypt expansion. This is my favorite planet. This one's cool. And you see each of them have different stuff on there. I have individual destination videos you should definitely check out where I talk about exactly like what's on all of the planets. So check those out if you're confused on like what all these symbols mean. I don't want to make this video like too long. Savathun's Throne World is from the Witch Queen expansion. And then it also came with a second. This is like a hub area, the Enclave. This is where you go to craft weapons. So if you're ever wondering how do I craft weapons, this is the Enclave, which again I talk about in those videos. Eternity was added for the what was it called? The 30th anniversary pack. When Bungie had their 30th anniversary a couple years ago, they added all this content. So there's like a social hub here, there's a dungeon here, and then this is like a 6-player activity. It's pretty fun. There's also a horse. Horses are cool. Dreamy City was originally added for Forsaken, so that was the 2018 expansion. And then you have Nessus, that was added on launch, so 2017 when the game came out. We're doing a lot of seasonal stuff here on Nessus. This is like the current seasonal model that's going to Nessus a lot. And then the Moon. So the Moon was actually from Destiny 1. They brought it back for Destiny 2, so this is like an OG location. The Helm is a social hub, typically where you do all your seasonal content stuff. So your main seasonal vendors are going to be here. So right now it's failsafe. So you can go there, you can talk to her. She should have the same rank reward structure that we just saw with the Ghost down on Paleheart. Very similar concept. And then most of these destinations have the same. You got your post box, so your postmaster. So like if you don't pick up stuff, this is where it goes. And then your vault. Vault is just where you store all your weapons and armor. Quest archive. It's pretty similar here. Tower. So this is your like giant social space. So this is where your playlist vendors are. So like here's Zavala. So he's the playlist vendor for Vanguard. And then you have Shax. He's for Crucible, so PvP. And then where's he at? Where's my dude at? Yeah, you got Drifter. So he does Gambit. But then you got a bunch of other NPCs here you can talk to. So this is like the clan vendor with Hawthorne. Got Ada1. She is all your stuff for Transmog. So to learn about Transmog, go to her. And then you got Saint 14 over here. He does Trials of Osiris. Then you got EDZ. This is just another planet. Again, I have videos for all these that break down everything on the planet. And then Cosmodrome. Cosmodrome and EDZ were both... well, EDZ was added for Destiny 2 launch, but Cosmodrome was actually also like the Moon in Destiny 1. Alright, so what else we got on here? We got game credits. If you want to look at that. You got a timeline here. I won't click on anything to spoil, but go back here. But this just has like a super simple timeline of like all the expansions. And then you can see when they started going into seasonal format, like here you have Forsaken, and then you have your other things here. See, here's where we started with our 4 seasons. We got 4 seasons here for Beyond Light. And see, now we're on to 3, because now they transitioned to 4 seasons per expansion to 3 episodes for expansion. But this just has a basic like description of like what happened. If you want to like get really into the lore eventually, I recommend channels like My Name is Bife. I have a video talking about recommended Destiny YouTubers that you guys could check out, and My Name is Bife is definitely like the lore guy if you want to know more about that. So the last one we'll do here is the social tab. So a couple things here. So you have you, and then you have your friends, and then you have your clan. It's late, so everyone's offline. But yeah, this just shows all your players. This you can break it down by platform. So I'm on Steam, so it's just showing only Steam. And then do invites here, so you can friend request people, you can fire team invite people, invite them to your clan. You can set everything to closed or open. So this little thing here, I would highly recommend doing the crossplay because Destiny supports crossplay and it's actually really good. And it's very seamless. So like once you do this, importing all your friends, if you play on multiple different systems, like console and PC, for example, then I would recommend doing this. And then like if you click on somebody, well, I guess I can't do it with myself, but so you got a bunch of options here, right? So I can see what he's doing. So this guy, he's my friend, he's playing Raid, the new Raid that just came out. I can see his emblem. That's a really cool emblem. Ooh, I want that nipple. That's super cool. I need to figure out where he got that. It's like a drawing. I like that. But yeah, I can join his fire team. I can fight him. I can inspect him, which just looks at like what his current equipment is, weapons and armor. Invite them to the clan, remove friend, report, block, whisper. And that is it, because I want to keep this not forever. You know, I don't want to make an hour-long video because I feel like people will stop watching. But yeah, this is a quick little breakdown. I hope this helped. I'm sorry if I talked in circles a little bit too much. Keep in mind, I do have videos explaining each system, and those are a little more shorter and probably easier to watch. But I wanted to make like one long video that kind of consolidated everything for people that might be more preferring that style of video. But yeah, if you guys learned something, one thing like that, that's awesome. That's the point of this, and really appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any recommendations or anything you want to see or any help you might need, just let me know, and we will figure out this Destiny journey together. But yeah, appreciate you guys hopping by. Thanks.